Finally, Hogwarts. Harry Potter is right here. Tonight, Showbiz Tonight goes one-on-one with one of the most famous young stars in the world, Daniel Radcliffe. Secrets of his latest movie. And what about that oh-so-controversial role where he takes it all off? Daniel Radcliffe, right here in the very special interview you'll see only on Showbiz Tonight.
Absolutely be reading it from the very beginning. I will not be flipping to the back. Absolutely not. I want to get the whole story, no matter how long it takes me.
Daniel Radcliffe, of course, known to the world as Harry Potter, talking about reading J.K. Rowling's 7th and final book in the Harry Potter series. Daniel has certainly been one busy young man lately, promoting his new film, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. It's based on the 5th book. Daniel now is just shy of his 18th birthday. He's already made quite a fortune thanks to Potter. I did ask him about that, his controversial nude scene on the London stage, and exactly what it's been like being the most famous boy wizard of all time. So it's amazing, what a ride it has been for you in your life. And it's been 7 years now since the very first Potter film. In fact, Charles, can we throw up a little a clip we have of the very first film?
Oh, my God.
And also a little look at what you look like in the Order of the Phoenix. I'm curious, when you see an image like that, do you recall, do you have any sense of what was going through your head at the time that all of that was happening in your life?
Yeah. I'm not... In a general way, yes. I think I was just, I was a kid on a film set, having the time of my life, and it was just amazing and fantastic. And I wasn't really. Whereas there, I took it a lot more. I'm now taking it a lot more seriously than I did then.
Now it's your craft.
Well, I would never use that word, but yeah, now I've got a real passion for it, and I want to get better at it.
Do you ever watch the old movies?
No,
do you look at them? And why is that?
Well, I think, it's still about just moving forward and doing more new, different things and stuff. But equally, it's a little bit embarrassing. It's like,
like looking at your baby
photos.
pictures.
Exactly, so it's,
Well, and it has been interesting, I think, for the fans to watch you grow up over the years and also see the changes that Harry Potter goes through, as anybody going through their teens is going to go through. And, of course, a lot of people making a big deal out of your first on-screen kiss in this movie. It seems pretty normal to me. Why do you think people make such a big deal out of it?
I don't know. I just think it's, it's obviously it's a big moment for Harry, because in anybody's... Okay, I think it's this. In anybody's life, their first kiss is a pretty big deal. Yeah. And I think Harry has become so a part of everybody's lives who've read about him and who've watched the films, that for them, his first kiss is then a big deal for them as well. So I think that's sort of the reason.
They're sharing in the moment.
They're sharing in the moment, exactly, yes.
Seems to make sense. Just a couple of days away, the 7th book in the Harry Potter series is coming out. I'm just curious if you yourself are feeling a little anxiety over that.
I'm not. The only thing I'm feeling anxious about is finding out what happens before I've read it for sure,
Right, so you want to see it now. I'm curious, and the reason I would think you might be anxious is because, of course, speculation has been rampant. J.K. Rowling has said 2 major characters will die, so speculation rampant that Harry Potter dies. So will you read it from front to end, or will you flip right to...
No, I will absolutely be reading it from the very beginning. I will not be flipping to the back. Absolutely not. I want to get the whole story, no matter how long it takes me.
So we need to get the message out clearly to everybody. Do not spoil the ending for Daniel Radcliffe.
Now they're all going to try and do it.
He wants to know exactly what happens in his own terms, on his own time.
Yes, my phone is being turned off for 5 days.
Have you thought at all about, having been so invested in this character, how you'll actually feel if he is killed?
I don't know, to be honest. I really don't know. I think I would be very sad if he does, but not out of a sense of, oh, I wish he'd lived, just out of, saying goodbye to somebody who's played such an important part in my life without ever actually existing. So it won't be a sadness like, oh, I wish he hadn't written that, because whatever she writes, I'm certain will be brilliant. It'll just be a bit of a sort of a moment of, goodbye, I suppose.
One thing that I like that I've read you said is, despite all the money, money hasn't changed the way you are as a person, and it won't change the way you are as a person, which is difficult to comprehend for a lot of people. Why do you think that is for you?
I think it's because it depends what motivates you in life. Now, I've been in a position where I've had a very privileged life in the beginning, so my motivation has always been about, particularly in terms of acting, it's been about the work itself rather than as rather than about what the work will get me, you know. So I think it just depends on what your motivation is. Mine is all about making the best possible Harry Potter films and the best possible acting career that I can in the long term, and it's not really about the money so much for me at all, really.
I think that's a really good thing to hear, and obviously you have key people in your life keeping you grounded and keeping your head screwed on straight, which is really important. And of course, much ado was made about your big onstage appearance in Equus over in London, where you appeared nude on stage. I know that you have to have expected a reaction from people when you announced you were going to be doing that. Could you have imagined, or were you shocked by the worldwide headlines that ensued?
No, I wasn't particularly. I knew that it would possibly... that they would all be saying, oh, this is a terrible idea, I can't believe he's doing it. Particularly those generous English tabloids were really kind about it all.
What was the worst thing they said?
The worst headline, I can't remember which paper it was something like, crash, what's that? It's the sound of a career coming to a grinding halt. And the brilliant thing about that was they were wrong. And, you know, I always like to wrong foot people. You know, I could go on doing other things and not challenging myself at all and probably getting on fine, but there's no point in that. I don't, that doesn't interest me. I want to do stuff that will challenge myself, and if it, you know, turns a few heads along the way, then that's just something else, you know, that's all a part of it.
So it sounds like you have no regrets about having done nude on stage in Equus. Did it accomplish what you had hoped it would accomplish?
It accomplished everything, in as much as, you know, it was a fantastic, it was a brilliant experience, and I learned a huge amount from it, and it got, you know, on the whole, really great reviews. And so, and I suppose, you know, it's one step in a very long journey, I assume, a long journey, of making people see me as an actor rather than just the actor who plays Harry Potter. J.K.
Rowling has said that she hasn't absolutely ruled out the possibility that maybe she might write another Potter book down the line, where everybody had always said, no, that's not going to happen. Who knows if that actually will happen, but if it does happen, and it does happen in a timely enough fashion, could you see yourself doing any more Potter movies beyond the next two?
I'd have to think very long and hard.
I'll give you 5 seconds.
But to be honest, I really don't think she will.
Probably unlikely. Yeah. You don't think she'll actually continue to write?
No.
And you don't think you would do another film even if she wrote it?
I have to think about it. I mean, the thing is, it would probably be... She would only write it if it was going to be amazing. So, because, you know, she doesn't need the money, so she wouldn't have that motivation for doing it, so she would only write it if she thought it would further the story. And if it genuinely furthered the story, then, yeah, I probably would.
How do you but like that guy? You can catch Daniel Radcliffe and his wizard friends in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix in theaters everywhere.